Picture this. You're a doctor. You've spent a decade in school, survived sleepless nights in residency, and finally built a thriving practice. You're saving lives, earning a great living. Life is good. Then out of nowhere, a lawsuit hits. Maybe it's a patient claiming malpractice or a slippery contingency fee lawyer sniffing around your bank account. And then poof, everything you've worked for could vanish faster than a surgical mask in a pandemic. Hi, this is the business guy, the CEO of the Lawyers Limited Law Firm and Asset Protection Planners. And today I'm going to show you how to bulletproof your wealth, especially if you're a doctor or other medical professional. So stick with me and I'll reveal the ultimate shield for your assets, how we've set up more of these than anybody else in the world, and a step-by-step plan to protect everything you've earned. Subscribe if you haven't. This could be the video that saves your financial future. Let's get straight to the point. Doctors, your targets. You're among the highest earners in the U.S. The average physician pulls in $313,000 a year, according to Medscape's 2024 report. That's a juicy prize for anybody with a grudge and a lawyer. I've been in the asset protection game for 34 years and I've seen it all. Malpractice suits? Oh, they're as common as stethoscopes. The American Medical Association says that 1 in 3 doctors will face a malpractice claim by age 55. For high-risk specialties like OBGYNs or surgeons, it's closer to 1 in 2. And these aren't small claims. Jury awards can hit $10 million or more, blowing past your malpractice insurance like a Category 5 hurricane. But it's not just malpractice. Personal injury losses, check. Somebody slips on your driveway and certainly your savings are on the chopping block. Divorce, yep, 35% of physicians go through it, per a 2023 Johns Hopkins study. And your ex's lawyer will be eyeing your assets like a kid in a candy store. Creditors, medical school debt averages $200,000, miss a payment and they'll pounce. Without a plan, you're a sitting duck. And that's why asset protection isn't optional, it's your lifeline. Let me tell you about Dr. Joseph, a client of ours. He was a top neurosurgeon, brilliant at his job, and then one day a patient sued him over a surgery complication. The claim? $15 million. His insurance capped at $5 million. And guess what? His house, his investments, his kids' college fund, all fair game. Luckily, he called us at Asset Protection Planners before the gavel dropped. We'll circle back to his story later. So what's the magic bullet? An asset protection trust. So think of it as a legal fortress for your wealth. You transfer your assets, cash, investment, real estate into this trust, and a trustee manages them according to your rules. So here's the kicker. Because you don't own the assets anymore, creditors and lawyers can't readily touch them. It's like putting your money into a safe, locking it, and throwing away the key into the Pacific Ocean. For your opponent, of course, now you can get the money out whenever you like. Now there are 2 flavors: domestic trusts set up here in the U.S. and offshore trusts set up in places like the Cook Islands and the South Pacific. Domestic trusts, they're okay, better than nothing, but they have one fatal flaw. U.S. courts can order the trustee to hand over your assets, and we see them do it all the time. Results-oriented judges bypassing the law. A judge in California or Florida or Nevada or Texas saying, I'm sorry, we don't recognize Nevada trusts here. Offshore trusts, however, that's where the real power lies. They're outside the U.S. jurisdiction, meaning a judge in Chicago or Miami can't just snap their fingers and undo your plan. In fact, I've been setting up these types of trusts for nearly 30 years, and trust me, offshore is the gold standard. Okay, now let's talk about the king of offshore trusts, the Cook Islands Trust. We also set up these trusts in Nevis in the Caribbean and Belize in Central America, but we prefer the Cook Islands. So why the Cook Islands? It's not just the beaches, though they are nice. This tiny Pacific nation in the South Pacific south of Hawaii has some of the toughest asset protection laws on the planet. And I've been working with the Cook Islands Trust for over 29 years, and at Lawyers Limited and Asset Protection Planners, we've set up more Cook Islands Trusts than any firm in the world. So here's why they're unbeatable. First, legal protection. In the Cook Islands, creditors must prove beyond a reasonable doubt, yes, a criminal standard, that you set up the trust to defraud that creditor in particular. Good luck with that. Second, U.S. courts have zero sway there. A plaintiff would need to fly 6,000 miles, hire local counsel that's usually conflicted out because our trustees have relationships with nearly every attorney on the island, fight in the Cook Islands court under laws stacked against them. Most give up before they board the plane. Third, privacy. Your trust details stay confidential, so no public filings for nosy lawyers to dig through. Compare that to a domestic trust. Say you set up one in Nevada or Delaware or Wyoming. Solid state, sure, but a judge in another state can still override it. Case in point, Hansen versus Dinkler. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled that jurisdiction can stretch across state lines if the plaintiff gets creative. Offshore? No such nonsense. Take Dr. Mark, an orthopedic surgeon. He faced a $7 million malpractice suit in 2022. His domestic trust in Nevada cracked open like a walnut when the plaintiff's lawyer argued fraudulent transfer. If he had gone with a Cook Islands trust, that money would still be his. We see this all the time at Lawyers Limited. So here's where we get fancy. At Asset Protection Planners, we don't just set up a Cook Islands trust, we turbocharge it. How? We place a Cook Islands LLC into the trust, and guess who's the manager? You. That's right, you keep control of your assets day to day. Want to move your money or sell a property? You call the shots as the LLC manager. But when the legal sharks start to circle, our licensed bonded trustee company law firm steps in, they take over, lock everything down, and tell creditors, sorry, not today. This combo is like a superhero team-up, Batman's gadgets plus Superman's strength. So the trust provides the legal shield, and the LLC gives you the flexibility and control when the waters are calm. I've spent 34 years perfecting this structure, and it saved doctors millions. So back to Dr. Joseph, when that $15 million suit hit, his Cook Islands Trust and LLC kicked in. The trustee stepped up, the assets remained safe, and he still kept his entire investment portfolio and his home. Today, he's practicing stress-free. So what can you shield with a Cook Islands Trust? Pretty much anything. Cash, simple. Move it into a Swiss bank account inside the trust's LLC. Investments, stock, bonds, mutual funds, they go into the trust, growing safe and sound. Real estate, trickier, but we've got you covered. Land trust for privacy. And then we set up a domestic LLC for your property, record a home equity line of credit. Then if needed, we have a mortgage company buy that mortgage and tuck the proceeds into your trust. So your house stays yours to live in, but legally untouchable. Now here's a stat. 80% of doctors' wealth is tied up in these three buckets: cash, investments, and real estate, per a 2023 WealthX report. Protect them, and you've protected your future. One client, Dr. Patel, shielded $2 million in rental properties this way. When a tenant sued him for a bogus injury, the trust held firm. He's still collecting rent today. So here's how to set up a Cook Islands Trust step by step. Ready to get started? Here's the playbook. Don't try this alone, though. You'll need pros like us at Lawyers Limited and Asset Protection Planners. Step number one, find an expert. With 34 years in the field, I've seen DIY trusts fail spectacularly, so think leaky boats in a storm. Step two, pick the Cook Islands. We'll handle the legal setup. Our team's done it thousands of times. We have attorneys on staff who specialize in asset protection. Step three, set up the LLC and bank accounts, and we'll guide you through the wiring of cash, transferring the deeds, and of course setting up the entities. Step number four, move your assets in. Now this part's critical. We've got the paperwork down to a science. Step number five, choose a trustee. In fact, our licensed bonded Cook Islands trustee company law firm is battle tested, and we've stared down lawsuits and won. Step number six, maintain it. Laws change. Last year we adjusted 50 trusts to dodge the new IRS rule. So we've got your back for life. So it takes 30 to 60 days to set up, and the cost depends on your assets, but think $20,000 to $40,000 up front, pennies compared to losing millions. Dr. Joseph Trust and the entire setup cost $35,000. Worth it? You bet. He saved $10 million. Okay, let's talk wins. Dr. Emily, a cardiologist, faced a divorce in 2021. Her ex wanted half of her $3 million estate. Loctite, she kept every dime. And then there's Dr. James, an ER doc, who got sued for $5 million after a chaotic shift. His trust LLC structure meant the plaintiff got zilch. In over 29 years, we've protected $500 million for doctors in offshore trusts at Lawyers Limited. And that's not a brag, that's a fact. So here's a fun one. Dr. Tom, a plastic surgeon, thought he was safe with a domestic trust. The creditor sued, and the court pierced it. Now, fortunately, before they broke through, he switched over to our Cook Island setup in 2023. Once his opponent found out, they flipped. He smiled, and last I heard, he was sipping Mai Tais worry-free. Moral? Go offshore or go home. So what's the takeaway? If you're a doctor, don't wait for the lawsuit to hit. Act now. Step number 1, assess your risks. Got a big house, investments, you're a target. Step 2, call us at Asset Protection Planners. With nearly 30 years of experience in the Cook Islands Trust setup, we've got the playbook. Step number 3, this is the easy part, sleep easy, knowing your wealth is safe. So before I go, hit that subscribe button if you haven't. We're dropping more tips like this every week. Next time, I'll spill the tea on protecting your practice from employee lawsuits. Want to chat? You can go ahead and visit us at assetprotectionplanners.com or call 1-954-400-1050. I'm the business guy, CEO of the Lawyers Limited Law Firm, and I've got your back. We'll see you in the next one.